This episode is all about from Councillor Troy to Professor X to the Ood to the Jedi to Edward Cullen to Mel Gibson in that one film, mind reading is a huge part of our shared fiction. It's also a pretty decent business. People like Darren Brown and Jerry McCambridge make their living pretending to read your thoughts, though most of the time they admit that it's a trick for entertainment. And then there are people like Michelle Knight, Russell Grant and Mystic Meg, who will take your money on the pretense that it is real. And those are just 3 names from the UK. Seriously, Google your hometown and the word psychic and see how many results you get from people who will read your thoughts for cash. So, mind reading is a cultural phenomenon. But here's the thing. It's impossible. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, duh, we know that telepathy is impossible, that's why it's part of fiction. But just hold on for a minute, because we need to distinguish between 2 different kinds of impossible. See, philosophers use the word impossible in 2 ways. There's physical impossibility and logical impossibility. Physical impossibility is stuff like bench pressing an aircraft carrier, or leaping a tall building in a single bound, or me getting a dinner date with Olivia Wilde. But logical impossibility is stronger. Things that are logically impossible contain some kind of contradiction, like square circle or married bachelor. They're impossible by definition. A good way to think about it is that physically impossible things don't happen, but logically impossible things cannot happen, no matter what. In a way, logically impossible things don't even make sense. Like, what would a square triangle even be? That's just nonsense. The words don't mean anything. Mind reading is logically impossible. It cannot happen. And here's why. So, I have thoughts and you have thoughts, and they're separate, but your thoughts don't have any special feature that marks them out as being yours, except for the fact that you are the only person having them. Your thoughts aren't a different colour or size or flavour to mine. The only way we can tell them apart is that your thoughts are had by you, and my thoughts are had by me. If I were to read your thoughts, you would no longer be the only person having them, i.e. they would lose the only feature that makes them yours in the first place. So in reading your thoughts, I would make them not your thoughts. So I can't be reading your thoughts. So we have a contradiction. So mind reading must be impossible. Quod erat demonstrandum. Okay, so we've shown that mind reading is logically impossible, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't tell what other people are thinking. You tell what other people are thinking all the time by looking at their faces or their behaviour.
And don't underestimate the importance of body language.
And if scientists built some kind of brain scanner and knew which neurons correlated with which thoughts, they could scan your brain and say, these neurons here are lighting up and they're always associated with thoughts about Emmy Award-winning animated TV shows, so she must be thinking about Adventure Time. Maybe you could even build a computer that would decode your brain activity into words and then send those words to someone else, like an ESP SMS. But that's not reading someone's mind, that's just like a really sophisticated version of reading body language. Your thoughts are what philosophers call logically private. No matter what, they will only ever be accessible directly by you. So, the next time somebody says they can read your thoughts, particularly if they ask for cash to do it, you know some philosophy, so you can say... WRONG! I may have just ruined large amounts of sci-fi and fantasy for you. I mean, I can't watch loads of stuff now, because now, whenever telepathy is mentioned, I'm just like...
That is incorrect.
What do you guys think? Is the distinction between physical impossibility and logical impossibility a useful one for you? And if there are any logicians or philosophers of mine out there who think we might have missed something, then do leave a comment. We're always happy to be proved wrong at PhilosophyTube. Don't forget to favourite, share and tell your friends all about the show, and if you liked the episode then you should hit that like button, because hey, I'm not a mind reader. Last time we tackled some crazy hard stuff. Let's see what you guys had to say about Immanuel Kant. Joshua Edward Pearson asked, does Kant say that everyone has the same a priori concepts all the time? He does think that everyone is born with the same basic set, but you can go out and get new concepts through experience. Remember the Pokemon analogy, everyone gets a starter, but you can go out and build your own team when you explore the world. Liam Sloggett said that whilst our concepts may be wrong, the phenomenal world is all we're going to have access to, so we kind of got to roll with it. Absolutely right, you're correct. Kant did actually say that. The noumenal world is completely off limits, so whilst we can never know if our concepts are correct, we just got to go with it. We have also now hit 200 subscribers. Thank you so much to all of you guys out there. It makes me really happy that you enjoy the show. Thank you very much. And thank you for bearing with me as well. And I think the episodes are getting better as I learn to work the camera and the editing software a bit better. But it is just a one-man operation that I'm running out of my bedroom. It is just me, and I don't have like fancy soundproofing or a fancy camera or even a microphone or anything like that. So thank you for kind of bearing with me a little bit. And I know that some of the earlier episodes, the quality was absolutely So thank you to each and every one of you guys out there for watching, and thank you also to the great people at PBS Idea Channel. Having a dialogue with you guys is really, really fun. Lots and lots of internet love to you. Thanks again for subscribing. When we hit 100, I wondered whether we could make it to 200, so can we double it again? Can we get to 400? I don't know, that's up to you guys. I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!
You can't touch this.